Hey guys, do you know this feeling? You look around your apartment at a certain wall and you think, this wall could really use a different color. But I have never gotten as far as to actually choosing a color, mainly due to the lack of inspiration. You might have faced a similar problem. Well, look no further because here is someone who has a solution. Miss Pompadour is a young paint manufacturer bringing color into your life. And with a community of over 100,000 members, there's plenty of inspiration. Let's find out more about Miss Pompadour and their current migration to Shopware 6. On stage are David Rothim and Jason Weisbach from the responsible agency EXCONCEPT and Niklas Luteken, co-founder of Miss Pompadour.
Hi, and welcome to our interview with Miss Pompadour and EXCONCEPT at Shopware Community Day 2021. I'm really pleased to have you here, Niklas and David. Maybe first of all, you could introduce yourself to our viewers.
Hey everyone. My name is Niklas Luteken. I'm one of the co-founders of Miss Pompadour and mainly responsible for the technical parts of our business. So the shop system, the mobile application, and so on. And I'm very happy to be here.
Okay, I will follow up. My name is David Rothim. I'm 36 years old and I've been working at EXCONCEPT for the past 2.5 years as a project manager. So I've followed several B2C and B2B projects and a little introduction to our company, EXCONCEPT. So we are an e-commerce company. We were founded 2011, so this year is our 10th anniversary. And we are implementing B2C, B2B projects, as well as doing support topics. And we are also responsible for data integration of several systems. And we are very happy, and I'm very happy that we can present you today the use case of Miss Pompadour and EXCONCEPT. Enjoy, have fun.
Thank you. I'm Jason Weisbach. I work as a partner and account manager at the e-commerce agency EXCONCEPT, and I'm also really glad to be here. I'm sure we're going to have some interesting insights on Miss Pompadour, why you chose Shopware as a shop system, and then a little deep dive into the project that is actually ongoing at the moment. But first of all, Niklas, I'm pretty sure that many of our viewers have heard of your company before, but nevertheless, maybe you could tell us something about Miss Pompadour, like when you were founded, what exactly you sell, and what the idea of Miss Pompadour is.
So at Miss Pompadour, we basically try to enable our customers to recreate their home and their living space by using very high quality and very ecological paint. So let's imagine you have like an old bathroom, old tiles from the 70s, or you have a kitchen and the kitchen is pretty much still good, like the wood and everything, but you just don't like the color. Like old kitchens sometimes have that. So then before renovating that all, you can basically just apply some new paint and like recreate your whole home. So everything that you see at home, you can basically paint, and we give you all the tools and all the instructions, a great customer support, a great community that helps you exactly doing that. Kind of from the idea to the finished result, and try to make you happy. So Miss Pompadour, the original idea or the company is already a little bit older. So initially we actually started off by basically selling home decor and even a little bit of furniture online. But that goes a few years back, and then we saw that, well, there is a demand for paint. And then we more and more shifted over to being a like paint only company. The company as it is right now basically exists as since 2019. And since end of 2020, we also have our own paint collection and manufacture our own paint.
Great, thank you so much, Niklas. Now you said the word paint quite regularly, which makes sense as that's your main product. Can you tell us a bit more about selling paint online? As I guess paint is maybe not the typical online product, since it's quite individual and difficult to represent digitally. So the question is, how did you solve that challenge?
Yeah, I think you're right. So paint was regarded for a very long time as basically being unsellable online. But we saw that there is a demand, and also if you look a little bit on the share of paint that is sold online nowadays, it's very, very small. So we kind of found our niche in there, and like on the other side also, shipping paint is not very easy. So if you want to ship 5 liters, 10 liters of paint, you need to protect it quite well to be delivered in one piece. So I think we did a few things. So one thing was definitely being available to your customers. So as you said, it's very difficult to kind of on your screen grasp the real color and the nuances of the paint. So being available and basically having WhatsApp, several social media channels that customers can reach out very, very easily, get a very quick reply, and kind of improving the whole sales experience. So bringing kind of the offline experience of going into a store a little bit more online. So I think this being available is the one thing. The second thing, I think we cracked the nut a little bit on how to describe paint. So make the descriptions as like good and precise as possible, so that you basically get an understanding of how this paint differs from the other one, even though on the screen they might look like very, very similar. And then of course, last but not least, color cards. So this is, I think, the traditional way of how you sell paint. You basically have color cards, and we try to make them accessible as easy and quickly as possible, so that you can first order them and then try it out at home before you then order the paint.
Great. Thank you, Niklas. You already mentioned your social media channels and your community. Maybe you could tell us something more about your e-commerce strategy in general, and also answer the question how important social media and content are for MissPompadour.
Yeah, so social media surely plays a very important role for us. So it's a very emotional product that we sell. Like by applying paint to your room, you basically can change the whole like look and feel of your home. So especially videos and pictures work very well, like before and after pictures, so that you can create this like wow effect of this is how ugly it was before and this is how nice it looks after you apply just a little bit of paint. So it's really, really important for us. And also I think already in the very early days, we tried to create kind of this online showroom or online sales room by, for example, starting with a Facebook group. So our Facebook group now is a little bit over 55,000 customers, or let's say DIY lovers. And this gave us like a really, really good like platform to basically showcase our products, and also you have a community that basically helps, like one helps another, and yeah, that was and still is really important for us.
Brilliant. I have to say, personally, I actually discovered MissPompadour during these hard times of lockdowns and so on, and I'm a really big fan of your social media channels. But that brings me directly to my next question. As the past 1.5 years have been quite a boost for your company, I guess, as hobbies at home like DIY projects became more and more popular due to the pandemic. So the question is, what positive effects did that have for MissPompadour, and were there still challenges you had to overcome?
Yeah, you're right. It was quite a boost. I mean, as we all know, people just started spending way more time at home. Also spent way more time on their phones, in social media. So that gave us kind of a great opportunity to grow our social media channels, to get like more reach, and then also of course get more like potential customers into our shop, and then leveraging what I told before, kind of having a very good customer support that then supports you in like growing your sales and growing your business basically. So for us, it was a really big boost. On the other hand, then getting the logistics right, making sure that your shop system, we will still talk about it, kind of is able to manage that like demand that is out there. That was definitely a really big challenge. So yeah, we are still now working on getting everything solved. But it was quite a challenge, but of course a good thing for us. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. So I think we got a really good overview of MissPompadour as a company. And today this interview is taking place in the frame of Shopware Community Day 2021. So the next part of this interview shall concern shopware and the selection of a shop system that we are really keen to get something more to know about. So my question would be that now, Niklas, I know you're using WooCommerce as a shop system.
Still, yeah.
Why did you want to? The question is, why did you want to relaunch your shop?
So I think there was no other way. So WooCommerce gave us a great, let's say, opportunity to easily start just a few years back. You know, you just install a few plugins, you put it online, you're ready to receive orders, and off you go. But as now we grew more and more into like a solid business, into a company, WooCommerce was more and more a liability for us. So whenever we did promotions, we had a lot of customers coming in. The system was just not able to handle that anymore. So scalability, I think, one of the biggest issues. Then also the whole administration part, like the back end, if we want to call it that way, super slow, a pain for everyone in our company to work with that. And yeah, I spent so much time, so many nights basically diving into why is this so slow and how can I make it faster? And in the end, you even run out of content to read. You know, Stack Overflow doesn't provide any answers anymore. And just the time that you spend in that or in there is in the end not really worth it, because just the basics of a shop system are not there, are not right. And this was now our opportunity to finally get it right.
Okay. Would you say that like the biggest pain was WooCommerce not supporting your growth as a company? Did I get that right?
Yeah, you could say so. But also, I think there are quite a few hygienic factors that are, I think it's just not a state-of-the-art like shop system. I mean, it's a block system or a block software. And you just need to install plugins for basically everything. And every plugin, again, like is made by a different developer. Sometimes they don't play very nicely together. So we were looking for something that basically gets the hygienic shop factors right, so that we have a solid foundation that we can build upon. So yeah, performance, one of the biggest issues, yes.
Okay. Now, besides Shopware, there were several shop systems to choose from and take into account during your decision for new software. Which requirements in particular were important for that selection?
So like we went through a few other shop systems, and in the end, we were really just looking for something that is a solid foundation. So it was Shopware ticked all the boxes for us. So that we really have an API that is like very performant. WooCommerce, for example, as the like not so nice example, the API was constantly struggling. Like you don't have the feeling that you can really like connect, for example, a mobile application to it. because it just doesn't serve you well. And Shopware, with this headless approach, kind of gave us really the feeling of, yes, this is how a shop system should work in 2021. So let's use something like this. If we just want to like say, of course, there's Shopify or also Magento. I think Magento we didn't even consider. Shopify, to be honest, it's still a Canada company or Canada-based company. So data privacy was a huge issue for us. We are so happy that we have Shopware as a German provider for a shop system, and also then hosting it ourselves. So our concern was when we use something that is like hosted somewhere, in the end we maybe lack some flexibility in the long run. You know, we never know what will happen in 1 or 2 years and what we need. So kind of the flexibility and privacy are definitely some big points next to technical requirements as a like API and a nice and good to use administration system.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I guess many viewers feel the same way. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't be listening in this Shopware Community Day interview today. Let me be a little bit more specific about the project. And I will ask you not only why did you choose Shopware, but why did you choose Shopware 6?
So I have to say that, like, for us, we can just go with the future. You know, there wouldn't be a way to choose anything that where something like much better is already out there. So we really, even though sometimes, yeah, you lack a few features, but also as we got to know Shopware, they are working very hard on like getting everything in that you basically need. And it feels so much nicer. Like the standard template is already like really good. It's like optimized for selling. It does so many things right. And we just had the feeling that this is the only way to go. No way to use an older system.
Okay, David, let me point my next question at you, because you're a project manager. So I would be really interested in your point of view. What functionalities convinced you most about Shopware 6, or what makes Shopware 6 stand out from other shop systems?
A lot of points have already been said by Niklas. It's the latest technology on the market, let's say it like this. So we are talking about a state-of-the-art approach. So there are frameworks, PHP frameworks like Symfony, for example, that are really up to date. So it's really clean developed. In the past, maybe other systems were developed, I don't know, 10 years ago and just updated. So from scratch, here we have a technology which is really fundamentally sound and up to date. This is really important. Then the API and headless approach, this is very important for me as a project manager as well, since our clients and customers have a high demand of data integration from several systems. So this is really important that the API is working well. So for example, you have a CMS, a content management system, and an online shop parallelly working. And you want to still create your content on the website admin. You can transfer the data, for example, to Shopware 6 pretty easily and make it visible on the front end. So there is a division between backend and front end. And this is really important for Shopware 6. When it comes to customers, there is a high demand of creating content without having any coding skills. So it's pretty annoying for a customer to always contact us if he wants to create his own content site, for example. So there are a lot of tools with Shopware 6, with the shopping worlds, and all kinds of different shopping world elements like picture and banner elements, text elements, commerce elements like product sliders. And here you have really the opportunity to create and build your own content without, as I said, said, you need to have coding skills. So this is very good, and it's always scalable to other devices as well. And last but not least, also Niklas said it, it's a German-based company, which is also a big advantage. So there is a very big development community, and it's of course open source. So it's pretty easy to create plugins, for example, or extensions. And even if there are some bugs or issues, it's a really short line to connect with Shopware, and a new development and new updates are coming to fix those problems, or to create new updates, for example. So those are the main points, I would say.
Great stuff. So I hope that many of the viewers could actually take something out of those explanations concerning Shopware 6 as the system to be. My next question is, Niklas, this is actually my favorite question in the whole interview, because I remember a bit of that process. So after your decision for Shopware, I would be interested in how you've experienced the process of finding a suitable agency.
Yeah, so I have to say that was actually pretty straightforward. We were reaching out to Shopware directly, and already there I had the feeling that we are in very good hands. So there was really somebody taking care of us, kind of understanding our issues, like what we need, where we want to go. Also, like me as a more technical person, I sometimes like to talk about the technical details, which sometimes is not so easy to always like find somebody like more on the sales side, in other like companies, or like Shopware, for example. But there I really had the feeling that is on point. That was really good. We felt very well understood. And then Shopware helped us to basically open up our application to the internal agency pool. And I think just within 1 day or something, Jason, you reached out. We just started from there, got to know each other, like went basically through our project, what we want to do, what is important to us. And also on your side, EXCONCEPT, you understood everything very well. And we are really happy also now how fast and how far this project has been progressed. And we are super excited to have it live, hopefully very soon.
Great, Niklas. That's actually so nice to hear, because I remember the same way, being really, just really great from the beginning. The contact was great. We were really quick in actually getting to know each other and getting into detail. And now we're in the middle of the project right now, and that's actually a really good transition to my next questions concerning the project. And David, for you, I have a question. As you as a project manager have already implemented several online shop projects based on Shopware 6. What would you say is especially important at the beginning of such a project?
Yeah, of course. For the beginning, maybe first of all, as you can tell, it's very important to have a good connection between the customer and the agency. This is really important. And of course, we as an agency, we have to know the requirements by the customer. So we really have to speak openly about those points, and this way we are really on the same page. So the expectations by the customer have always meet ours, and here we have different points that are really important. So the handover, for example, from our sales department to us is really important, and a first kickoff, getting to know meeting is also vital. So we need to have a first workshop for us as an agency to really understand the system landscape, for example. What data model does the client have? What are his requirements, as I said? So this first meeting is really important. And after that, I can go together with my lead developer in the lab, and we can deviate all the efforts and the costs, for example. So there is a technical conception behind it, always collaborated together with the client. And after that, we present this this document of requirements to the customer. And here he can see if everything that he expects is checked out or is included. So this is vital for the success of a project. And both sides really have to commit on those milestones, I tell it. So, and after that, this is my part as a project manager to create a timeline that includes those milestones. And then we can see how long will each milestone take, and eventually when are we able to go live. So transparency is really important, and documentation of the requirements, so we are really on the same page. So this is the most crucial thing in the beginning of a project.
And I guess that worked very well in the MissPompadour project so far. Am I right?
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Brilliant. David, you mentioned the word milestones quite a few times. Could you tell us a bit more about what the typical milestones in an e-commerce project are?
Yes, it kind of depends on the customer for sure, but there are in general some milestones that are occurring more often. So as I said in the beginning, it's always a kind of kickoff workshop. There is a technical conception behind it. And in most cases, there is one point that needs to be confronted. It's the hosting, for example. So we look how the hosting situation is. Is there some room of improvement, for example? We talked about scalability, so it's not about only the shop system, but we need well-performing servers, for example. So we are checking this box in the beginning. Then, of course, if there is some kind of front-end or design relaunch, in most cases, there is a design workshop together with our UX, UI designers. So we meet in this round and talk about the most important points. How is the style supposed to look like? How is the UI of the company, for example, and how we can implement it in the design template, for example. After we committed on the design, it's also very important, of course, to create the template. As Nicholas said, so Shopware 6 has already a well-performing template, but we need to individualize and adjust it to the needs of the customer. And there we try to include all the crucial and important features in this template for sure. Then data integration, as I said before, is also one big milestone. So there are different systems in general, like ERP systems, product information management systems, like in our case here, and CRM systems, for example, and data migration and data transfer from one program or one software to the other is really important. And for that, we also doing a technical conception, how we can integrate it as quickly and as well as possible. Other milestones, for example, are payment service providers or payment methods. So today it's not enough just to have one or two payment methods on your online shop. So it's really, I mean, it also depends on your customer and where your customers are coming from. But in general, you can say you need PayPal, for example, In the future, you're going to need maybe Alipay if your customers are from Asia, or Apple Pay if your customers are coming from the States, credit card for sure. So this is a big topic as well. And understanding your customers is also key. So tracking, you also have to consider, of course, to really see how the behavior on site is from your customers, from which sources they are coming. So those are the typical milestones. And after we have finished those milestones, in between and by the end of the project, there is a testing phase, which is also very crucial. So quality management from our side, but also from client side, it's really key to have a successful project. And then we have the go live, and hopefully everything works out without any big problems.
So as we are still in the middle of the project, maybe David, you could tell us something about what has already been implemented so far and what are the next steps looking like?
Yes, so we checked certainly some boxes. So we attacked successfully the hosting topic. We committed on a pretty well-round and nicely designed, I would say. Which is not completely different from the current, but there are some nuances that I think are really improving also on the UX side of it. So we committed on a design. We are already in the last breaths of the template creation. So there are some minor things that need to be done, some custom elements that we are still implementing. But here I would say we are 85–90% already through with it. And we already started also with the data integration. So we made a technical conception, talked about those points with Niklas in several meetings. And now data integration, like customer accounts, for example, products. So we are supporting also the PIM integration. So what is the best way to integrate product data, assets, for example, so pictures and all the attributes. And when we have this finished, we will talk about payments for sure and integrate the most important payment methods. And after that, it's the testing phase and the go live. So hopefully we will be able to go live in October. So this is the biggest milestone.
Cool. Okay. Looking forward to that. My last two questions are for you, Niklas. They're concerning the future a little bit, but also getting back to the shop system, Shopware. I'm sure in addition to our interview today, internationalization is a big topic at Shopware Community Day 2021. And I would like to know how important the issue of internationalization was for you concerning choosing a shop system for your new project.
It is a constant topic. So this topic is has been around for a long time. And we are just kind of still getting the basics right. For example, now moving to a new shop system and then being able to enter new markets and to offer different language versions for your shop. This was really important for us. So we could have not chosen a platform that wouldn't handle that very well. And for example, if we compare it to where we come from, WooCommerce, sure, it works as well. So but for us, it's not really a binary thing, like works or doesn't work. It needs to work well, and it shouldn't have any impact on performance, where WooCommerce, from my experience, would struggle quite a bit. So this was really important for us, and we are not really there yet to make use of it, but very, very soon we will start entering first new markets. So let's see when that happens.
Brilliant, thank you. And when we're talking about future plans, like David just said, quite soon actually, your new Shopware shop will be online. Maybe you could tell us a bit more about your next e-commerce plans for the future after that?
So to be honest, it feels now a little bit like we are just getting started. So we had like the whole history of our current shop system like brought with it so many limitations, like was slowing us down in many phases. We needed to reinvent the wheel whenever we felt actually this is a hygienic factor that a shop system should just be able to do. Like performance scaling should be a no-brainer in the year of 2021, but it wasn't. So we put a lot of effort into that, and now we really feel like we got the basics right, and we can breathe and we can really focus on next steps. So next steps definitely will kind of go more around the topic of how to keep customers closer, how to support them better, how to basically try to make retention rates better, try to support them better in their whole shopping experience from start to end. And having now this new shop system soon online, we have the feeling that this will support us just so much, and we need to worry less about the very basic things. So everything at MissPompadour will go around the customers, and kind of having now a nice shop system, a nice user account area, is I think a nice treat for our customers, and we take it from there.
It sounds really good. I'm really looking forward to what there is to come, and hope that maybe EXCONCEPT can in future still be a part of that. So
definitely.
Great. Yeah, that was actually my last question. So I would say thank you so much for your time and answering the questions. I guess it's been a really, really interesting interview, and I hope that many of our viewers could actually learn a bit more of how MissPompadour gets to use a Shopware 6 shop, how EXCONCEPT works, and gets to know you both, Niklas and David. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It was fun. Thanks.
And now we're actually live with Niklas from MissPompadour and Jason and David from EXCONCEPT. Hi, you guys. I'm very happy to have you live now in this Q&A.
Hey,
hi,
thank you.
Thanks for having us.
So
happy to be here.
I don't know if you could have the time to read the comments in the chat, but man, people are digging your product and your online shop. So congrats again on that. And I'm intrigued myself. So let me assure you that my walls in my apartment won't stay white any longer. So congrats again. Actually, there are some questions in the Q&A. Let's have a quick look. So they mostly move around the area of your ecosystem and maybe additional providers and additional solutions you dock into your shop system. So in case of PIM, which PIM are you actually using, and what kind of middleware will be used for the data integration? Maybe that's a good one also for David. And also when it comes to ERP solutions, are you actually considering to plan things like pickware, for example? So maybe you can elaborate a little on those questions regarding the ecosystem.
Yeah, sure. So I will start a little bit bigger. So in like pretty much 1 year ago, our whole picking and packing process was still kind of printing out sheets and going through the warehouse and picking and packing everything. And we felt, okay, we need something new. So first we started to implementing basically our own ERP system to manage this a little bit better. But then beginning of this year, kind of this took so much effort and so much focus. And we really felt that, okay, we need something else. So what we then did was, we started the look for an ERP system that has the possibility or opportunity to also serve as a PIM system. And we ended up with Plenty Markets. So this is kind of now the decision for Shopware then kind of came afterwards. So we started already integrating the ERP system with WooCommerce, and our idea was, okay, we first integrate that, then we have kind of our source of truth in terms of order data and product data. And then kind of just connected to the new shop system that we then ended up with Shopware 6, and Shopware 6 has pigware. I think it was just time-wise not ideal, but yeah, currently everything is going well. We are happy that things are working. I think this is really a crucial integration part that also now takes quite some time. And we basically have a Shopware Plenty Markets connector in between that is a plugin on the Shopware side, and then just talks to Plenty Markets via the API. So luckily, both solutions have very good APIs, so that makes it work.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, let's take everything one step at a time, right? So we will never see what the future brings, but one step at a time, I guess. Another question which was voted here is regarding aspects we covered in the talk a little, APIs, headless, etc. So someone was asking, will the shop also feature a PWA? So maybe someone can comment on that.
Not yet. So the thing is, we have our own native mobile application, or it's kind of a React native mobile application, so not fully native. But this, like, I think the PWA apps, they are progressing very nicely, and I think for the future this could be a really nice approach for us. But so far, kind of, we started off with, for example, having an augmented reality view. So you can kind of just take the app and you put it at a wall, and then you kind of have a square, and you can just move the edges and paint the wall in the paint or in the color that you want to choose, and just try it out. Cool. Like these things, probably there will be solutions at some point. Maybe there are already, and I'm not aware of it. But right now, this is kind of the approach that we take. We have our brilliant new shop. We have our nice app that we need to improve. And also now, in terms of the project, we really need to make sure that this app is connected to the new API. That's still some work to do there, but we are happy that it will be live soon.
Makes total sense. Maybe the last question for our Q&A for now. Let me have a look. There's another one which was also voted. From your point of view, what makes Shopware 6 better or more suitable for your needs than Shopware 5? So have you even considered Shopware 5, or was it already, Shopware 6, we go for the newest or for the latest version? So maybe you can comment on that question as well a little.
So maybe, David, you need to help me out a little. But what I can say is, like, I have a more emotional answer. So we looked at Shopify. Shopify, like, really looks good, looks state of the art, and we looked at the features that they have, and then we had a look at Shopware. And I just saw the Shopware website. I saw the Shopware administration panel. It just looked, I felt like I want to have this. This looks really good. Then I had a look at the API, what it can do. I had a look at the roadmap. I think that you have public somewhere, and I felt, yes, like no other questions asked. Like, I want to have this. It's a match. But so far now, I think I dived in it within the last 2 or 3 weeks much deeper. And so far, I'm really blown off, like, how easy things are and how good they match our use case. But maybe, David, you can say a little bit more specific, like finer things about Shopware. Of course, I can.
Yeah, I can add to that for sure. So as we have seen and talked about in the interview as well, we are talking about a new and state-of-the-art technology. So this is a big difference towards Shopware 5, since Shopware 5 has been released a couple of years ago and just updated. So we're talking about other frameworks, which I said is more up to date, for example. So maybe for the moment now, if you compare it to Shopware 5, there might be some features still missing that people are used to from Shopware 5. but the release of Shopware 6 is not that long ago, so it's still, of course, work in progress. But we have a technology that is really fundamentally sound, and it's built up for the future. So this is a big difference. And also what needs to be said is the API and the headless approach, which is more advanced than Shopware 5. So those were the main arguments for us to say, okay, for the moment, maybe some features are still not there that are used from Shopware 5, but for the future, this is the technology where we have to go with it. So those are the points.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for this. So I can only agree with you. Obviously, it's a journey. It's always a journey. But if you do the basics right, then I guess we're all looking at a future-proof solution and giving you the flexibility to create the things you want to do. So yeah, great stuff, guys. Thank you very much. That's it already. I'm very happy that you joined this Q&A, and thanks again for your for handing in your slot. And obviously, all the best for the future of the project.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Have fun.
Bye-bye.